So they'll be calling you a radical. Real important video, a snowball's chance in hell. So the Austrians have broken a smuggling ring, I'm telling you. They're the ones that get it. And they had to bust it in the old Soviet Union, you know. So, a lot to talk about here. Of course, the Russians have been banned for the Olympics. Sounds so perfect this morning. They're like, thank you. I got a great story I'll tell you about the 2020 games. So here at the football stadium, because the game will be here, the biggest game in the university's history at home will be here. They moved it to Friday night again. This is real important stuff. So there's a lot going on. So speaking of the great Dr. Hanley, who I taught with, who played here, he and I were both on the committee in the 90s. And he's like, I was standing right next to him and did the famous interview with Sports Illustrated. What's the chances? And he played here, All-American here. You know, what's the chance to turn this corrupt nightmare program, bleeding $1.5 million a year, looting, thieving, what's the chance to turn it around? I was standing right next to him, Sports Illustrated. A snowball's chance in hell. What's the chances of Kevin Blanchard, anti-nuclear crew, exposing the nuclear energy crime syndicate with a YouTube camera? A snowball's chance in hell. So the 2020 Olympics, Russia's like, whew. So this legendary track team, we used to call it middle distance in those days. It's a dead sprint now. I'm so old, we used to call it the 880. I ran against Icestone. So I'll give you an update on the weather conditions Friday night. They moved the game to Friday night. I did the play-by-play in the end zone last year against Maine. Oh, I couldn't feel my feet and fingers for about 12 hours after the game. It's not going to be as cold, but I'm here to tell you, at this elevation, and I saw the weather report, you know, I've been here my whole life. It's going to snow during the game, and it's going to be wet snow. It's going to be big. So we have a female hurdler here who's world class, one of the best in the world. I talked to her right there. I said, you ran fourth in the Olympic trials, you know, when you're the best in the country. I said, you think maybe that was a Freudian slip by you on purpose to not go to the 2020 games? She says, yeah. She knows all about Fukushima because they have me. So Austria's busted a nuclear ring. Now let's talk about VOLKER, speaking of 94. A lot of people don't know this, but here, the Eccles family, who named that Ben Lomond Peak, ran the Fed from 1932. The Federal Reserve, I knew Mariner personally. Now, what they've done now is a disgrace. So Paul Volcker was the last decent Fed chair we had. His own words. Oh, by the way, don't vape. Romney says no vape. Volcker died in 92. He smoked cigars his whole life. So, George Burns on Balco. So Volcker used to go, remember Volcker used to go crazy about Greenspan. Collie Mann ran Greenspan, and he used to go psycho about the lowering of this interest rate falsely. And he predicted everything that's come to be, Volcker did. Volcker predicted every bit of it. Now, I was a finance professor here, #1 school business in the United States. And this is important so people don't know this at this school. When Dr. Hanley, who donated his brain at the end to the NSA committee for brain injuries, when we were the #1 school of business in the country, he and I worked together. I spoke at his wake this year. I mean, these professors at this university were going to the #1 undergraduate program in the United States. Dr. Cooley, by the way, I think it's irony. We have NFL superstar going to play named Cooley. God, that hand catch he made with one hand in that game. Whoa. So, it's a legendary turnaround. Sports metaphors matter. You don't think they matter? And everybody says, oh, you're talking. What the fuck are you talking about? Sport has always been part of world culture for the beginning. You know, it's reflectionary. Look in the fucking mirror. So, they were going psycho about this. I was going psycho about my class. Of course, they're all gone now, and now the school of business don't go see the Dalai Lama. They're Chinese oligarchy, slavery. So back to the Austrians, which, you know, I just was there. They bust a smuggling ring of, oh, it's just uranium-235. I'm Kathleen Higley at Oregon State University. I'm at Michigan. I'm at Cal Berkeley. I'm at MIT. Oh, it comes naturally from the ground. No, that's uranium-238. How did they make uranium-230? Oh, what's uranium-2? It was just 235 uranium. I like how they report it as uranium-235. That'd be called plutonium, kids. They centrifuge it. What's that? You know how much uranium? By the way, in the Detroit River, not to be confused with the Detroit River, Tim Martin's on the Detroit River right now in Oregon. How about the Detroit River in Michigan? Don't drink the water, third world. Uranium freaking caved in. Tailings into the river. Remember when Obama took his fake sip at Flint, Michigan? Where's the buck stop? Obama for prison, Trump for prison, the cover-up of Fukushima. I want to say this about the 2020 Olympics boycott and the Russians. They're like, thank you for banning us. I'm talking to the Ed who I ran against. He and I beat him before. Of course, we were young then. What an athlete. I'm like, Ed, really, you shouldn't be going to those Olympics. You know, he's the coach, Olympic marathon coach. Rakata Iki has not been heard from for 93 days. It's the #1 Olympic athlete in the world right now. Bar none, bar none. 6 gold medals at the Asian Game, born on 4th of July. She got leukemia in February this year, AML. You don't think I know where she's at right now? My connections inside Russia, and another thing. Oh, God, good catch, Kev. One-man band, organic. Oh, I know. I was in that bone marrow transplant center for a long time. And by the way, so people know I'm connected. I mean, I'm literally tied to the jugular vein to our hospital. You know, I got AML leukemia. I was given 2 months to live. I'll quote my doctor. Kevin Lynch, you are a walking, talking miracle. I don't know how you're alive. The disease you have is unsurvivable. Whatever you do not waver. Because this is a miracle. What you're doing, whatever you're doing. I says, I'm fighting back against the fuckers that give it to me. Kariiki has not been heard from her in 93 days. She's had her transplant. That's when we know. Does it work or not? My guess it hasn't worked. Maybe they're going in again. Look it up. Marshall Jensen was in the room next to me. 2 transplants. First one to get the HIV. Just Google Marshall Jensen. AML. In the room next to me. At LDSE State Bone Marrow Transplant. Warped my aortic valve. What a story. I'm tied. I mean, when I'm gone for a while, they're calling me. How's the health going? I mean, think about this. Sleeping on the beach, freaking walking the coast of California, dead tide pool jumping, Bob Bevan Blanche, world record holder. The Austrians, they're so anti-nuclear energy and nuclear bombs. They centrifuge, they spin, they gas. You know, uranium tailings it takes. So the climate change? No, climate changed by Fukushima. Climate changed by Fukushima. There's so much to talk about here. Ayn Rand, Greenspan, VOLKER has died. Last decent Fed, he called all this. He said this was going to collate inflationary, the tool, the lever. They've used all their arrows. They have none left. It's going to cause inflation. It's going to cause a homeless situation. It's going to cause a housing bubble. And then not to mention that, you know, the debt will spiral out of control. He called it all to a T. Word for word. He used to go psycho about freaking Ayn Rand Greenspan. He called him a terrorist. That's his words, not mine. Which he is a fucking terrorist. You know. Oh, they just busted a smuggling ring. Guess who reported it? The Vatican News. Think about that. Whoa, ho, ho, ho. By the way, you think they're a nuclear energy crime syndicate, which they are the greatest organized crime. I want to tell you mobsters in the United States, including Status King Cuomo, who goes along with this, who's a gangster mobster, $7.6 billion bill. Bloodlines from Italian. You don't think these are bloodlines? Think about CNN. His bloodline, Cuomo, is the anchor. How about the other one? Anderson, the public be damned, Andy Vanderbilt. Yeah, he's the bloodlines of the public be damned, Vanderbilt. They're back. VOLKER called all this to a T. 2020 Olympics. They reported as 235. Whoa, that's plutonium. As I've said, What's coming off Fukushima, you don't even know what it is, which I call plutonium. You think they... Germ theory came from Austria. Atom theory, Austria. Vienna, University of Vienna. We invent. You know how crazy he sounded when he started doing atom theory? Whoa. By the way, this coat is made by Teller, Vienna and New York. 1956 Olympics coat I have on. This is a judge's coat for the 1956 Olympics I got in Vienna. So, the company's Teller. Edward Teller from Vienna, the Austrian, Budapest, the Mad Hungarian, the Austrian-Hungarian Empire. Atom theory, germ theory, Kevin Blanche, plutonium theory. Plutonium, you don't even know what's coming off. 3 suns boiling into the Earth's, 3 full suns into the Pacific Ocean. This dramatic collapse of our ecology. Oh, it's just eating up the oxygen out of our oceans, that's all. Oh, it's heated up. Climate changed by Fukushima. Everything I've said, again, atom theory, germ theory, Kevin Blanche theory, I feel like Semmelweis. You know, Semmelweis was germ theory in Vienna. They put him in a fucking rubber room after he proved it and beat him to death and killed him long before Louis Pasteur. You know, so Kevin Blanche, the scientist, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. You know, wow, what a journey. Again, Dr. Hanley, the All-American at Weber State football, the most corrupt football program in the world, was the losingest program in the country. Jay Hill, who I talked to Saturday morning, this isn't about wins and losses. This is about a cultural shift. 27,000 students this year. Would they want to blackball me? Fuck them. He's turned it around. What he's done culturally, I'm dumbfounded. Win, lose, or draw, it doesn't matter. It's about a cultural shift. A great group of young people, men and women, look what we threw to them. Look what we handed them. Debt, environmental toxic poisoning, the baby boomer and the echo boomers, the most disgusting fucking pigs who ever walked. Going to see American manufactured Jesus, well-petting hypocrites. Money, money, money. It's the ecology, stupid. Stand tuned.